She went on a secret date. I showed up with divorce papers. I knew she was lying the moment she said the word meeting. Her voice wavered, just enough to betray her, not enough for her to notice. She stood in the doorway that night, one hand gripping her purse, the other twisting her hair the way she always did when a truth tried to escape her mouth. "I'll be late tonight," she murmured. "Work. Issues." Work didn't call her at 8:14 p.m. Her boss didn't text her hearts at midnight, and she didn't spend extra time curling her hair for spreadsheets and emails. I watched her leave, quiet, still, expressionless. Inside, the storm was already forming, cold, clinical, precise. 2 years ago, betrayal would have broken me. Tonight, it only shaped me. When the door clicked shut, I opened my phone. A location pen lit up instantly. She'd shared her location with me months earlier, accidentally. She never remembered. I never forgot. The restaurant was across town. Dim lights, soft piano. Known for discreet corners and couples who didn't want to be seen. Perfect. I put on my coat, straightened the collar, and grabbed the envelope I'd prepared 3 days earlier, before I had proof, before I had answers. Because suspicion alone was enough. Her betrayal wasn't a surprise, just a confirmation. As I stepped out into the night, the cold air bit into my skin like a warning, or maybe a blessing. Either way, I was ready. Tonight, she'd see who I had become. The clues had been piling up like quiet accusations. Late nights at the office. New lingerie hidden behind old sweaters. A password change on her phone she shrugged off with a nervous laugh. But it wasn't any of that broke me. It was the silence. The way she stopped reaching for my hand while watching TV. The way her eyes drifted when I spoke. The way she smiled at her phone, never at me. It was emotional abandonment disguised as exhaustion, and I felt it. Every day, every night. 1 week ago, she left her phone on the kitchen counter, face up. A single message flashed across the screen before the device locked again. "Can't wait to see you again. Beautiful." Not my words, not my number. The world didn't collapse. It crystallized. Everything sharpened. Everything became painfully clear. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't confront her. I didn't scream or beg or demand answers. I just stared at the reflection of my face on the black screen. It wasn't anger I felt. It was distance. A strange, quiet detachment, like I was watching my life from the outside. That was the night I printed the divorce papers. I placed them in a brown envelope. I wrote her name on it carefully, as if signing the last page of a story already over. Then I slipped it into my desk drawer and waited. Waited for the lie. Waited for the moment she'd choose someone else over the life we built. Waited for proof of what my heart already knew. And when she said she had a meeting, I knew the waiting was over. I didn't speed, didn't rush, didn't tremble. Revenge is cleaner when you're calm. The restaurant's parking lot glowed under soft yellow lamps. Her car was there, neatly parked, as if this betrayal deserved dignity. I sat in my car for a moment, watching the entrance. A couple walked out laughing, holding hands, sharing secrets meant only for them. That used to be us, before she traded my honesty for his attention. I stepped out, buttoned my coat, and walked toward the entrance. No hesitation, no warmth left in my chest. Inside, the place smelled of wine and polished wood. Soft music dripped through the air like honey meant to disguise bitterness. The hostess smiled politely. "Table 4? No, I'm looking for someone." I scanned the room. There she was, back to me. Hair curled, dress she never wore for me, leaning in toward him. Her laughter, light, flirtatious, fake, floated across the room like an insult. He reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. My heart didn't crack. It hardened. Seeing betrayal is strangely liberating. It destroys hope, but it gifts clarity. I took a slow breath. Then I moved. Each step felt measured, deliberate, controlled. Not a husband approaching his wife, but a man approaching the end of a contract. I stopped beside their table. She didn't see me at first, too busy smiling for him. Then her eyes lifted, met mine. Her face drained in seconds. Shock, guilt, fear, exactly in that order. "What are you doing here?" she whispered. I didn't answer. Words give them ground to stand on. Silence suffocates better. I placed the envelope on the table, sliding it toward her slowly, letting the weight of my decision sink into her trembling hands. She stared at it as if it were a weapon. Her date looked between us, confused, then uncomfortable, then very aware he was part of something rotten. I finally spoke. My voice was steady, almost gentle. "You won't need excuses anymore." Her fingers shook. As she opened the envelope, the papers slid out, a neat stack of consequences she never thought she'd face. Her eyes darted across each page. Then they widened. "Divorce?" she choked. You're divorcing me?" I nodded once. Slow, deliberate. She tried to swallow her panic, tried to muster innocence, tried to build lies out of thin air. I can explain," she whispered. "This isn't what it looks like. He's just—" "Stop," I said. Not loud, just final. She froze. I reached into my pocket and placed my phone on the table. One tap. Screenshots appeared. Messages, photos, shared locations. Nights she claimed she was elsewhere. Her face collapsed. Her date leaned back, horrified. He whispered, "You said you were separated?" Of course she did. She always edited reality to suit her needs. But tonight, she was out of ink. I watched her breath hitch, her hands tremble, her mascara dip beneath her eyes. I felt nothing. No rage, no heartbreak, just release. You knew?" she whispered. "All this time?" "Yes." "And you didn't say anything?" I was waiting. "For what?" she breathed. "For the moment you'd reveal who you really are." Her lips parted, but no words followed. Silence replaced the lies she would have crafted. Her date stood abruptly. "Yeah, I'm done," he mumbled, and walked out without looking back. She reached for me as he left. A reflex, a habit. I stepped away, letting her hand fall into the empty space where our marriage used to be. She followed me outside, heels clicking desperately on concrete. Wait, please," she called, grabbing my arm. "We can fix this. We can talk. I made a mistake." I turned slowly. Her eyes were soaked in terror. Not sadness, not love. Fear of losing stability, comfort, security. Fear of facing herself without me as her shield. "There's nothing to fix," I said. Her lip trembled. "But I love—" "No," I cut in. "You love the version of me who didn't know." Her breath shattered. "I messed up," she whispered, "but we have years together, a home, memories. Doesn't that mean anything?" "It did," I replied, "until you chose moments with him over a lifetime with me." She shook her head violently, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "I'll stop. I'll cut him off. Please, just don't end this." I took the pen from the envelope and held it out. Sign. Her eyes widened, tears clinging to her lashes like dying hopes. "You're serious?" she whispered. "Yes." She took the pen with trembling fingers, stared at it as if it were poison. Then she broke. Not the dramatic collapse of someone heartbroken, but the quiet crumble of someone who finally realized their games were over. She signed. A single signature ending a decade. When she handed the papers back, her hand brushed mine, seeking something familiar, something safe. I pulled away. She whispered, "You're really leaving me?" "No," I said calmly. "You left first." Her knees buckled. She sank onto the curb, sobbing into her hands. People passing by stared, unsure whether to pity her or ignore her. I walked away, not looking back, not hesitating, not regretting. Some endings don't need fire, just truth. The night air felt lighter as I reached my car. Not colder, Not warmer, just honest. For the first time in months, I could breathe without feeling something sharp in my chest. I sat behind the wheel and stared at the reflection in the window. The man I'd become. Harder, quieter, clearer. Betrayal didn't destroy me. It revealed me. It showed me how much silence I could carry, how much truth I could uncover without breaking, how much strength comes from knowing when to let go. As I started the engine, I heard her voice behind me, faint, desperate, cracking. "Please, don't leave." But I didn't step out, didn't answer, didn't save her from herself. Sometimes, walking away is louder than screaming. As I pulled out of the parking lot, the restaurant lights faded in the rearview mirror. So did she. So did every lie she ever told. I didn't hate her. Hatred still ties you to someone. I felt nothing. Emptiness isn't a wound. It's a doorway. And tonight, I walked through it without hesitation. The final thought that crossed my mind as the road opened ahead was simple. Calm, quiet, final. She ended the marriage with her lies. I ended it with my signature.